Now, this is when he just drops a nuke on the Democrat Party, leaving them in ashes and also leaving everybody on Morning Joe speechless. Watch.
Yeah, so I spoke to an activist who was advocating for abolishing the police, and I said, let me get this straight. You want to conduct a social experiment on the lowest income communities of color in places like the Bronx. And what happens if that experiment goes badly? What happens if it leads to an outbreak of gun violence and gang violence and youth violence? Like, you live in a wealthy white neighborhood in an ivory tower, insulated from the consequences of your utopianism, whereas my constituents are poor people of color who have to live with high costs and high crime rates. And we should be speaking to the lived experience of people of color. You know, when you consider some of the most utopian ideas in politics, whether it's abolishing prisons or abolishing the police or abolishing ICE, those ideas do not come from working class people from places like the Bronx. Those ideas typically come from activists and academics who are out of touch with working class people.
Oh my God, can everybody please smash the like button if you enjoyed that epic takedown? I mean, this is what we're always criticizing the ladies of The View for. All of these fairy tale Looney Tunes ideas that they have sound more like a philosophical conversation that two professors might be having, not real world policies that you plan to implement. Sunny Hostin loves to talk about how racist everything is while she lives in her 10-bed, 10-bath New York mansion. Whoopi Goldberg loves to say that she's working class because she works every day on The View and wouldn't do it if she didn't need to, while making an $8 million a year salary. People in Martha's Vineyard loved the idea of open borders until the migrants were in their neighborhoods. Democrats love to talk about defund the police for regular people while they have their private security. Democrats love to talk about how a border wall was racist, but live in gated communities. Have any of these rich liberals talked to anybody in the inner cities that are in the midst of all of this gun violence? If they would feel more safe and secure if the police were just taken off the street. No, they've just convinced themselves that police are bad and racist because it's a fashionable talking point in liberal high society. Democrats will institute these soft on crime policies and then combine it with defunding the police and are surprised when everything descends into chaos. They think they're college educated so they know better. So they make decisions that they're convincing themselves come from a place of empathy and compassion without once asking the people who these policies will affect how they feel about them. Now let's get to the second part of this Morning Joe episode where they invite on some Democrat podcasters who again proceed to kick the Democrats after the congressman just slammed them down. But here's Joe Scarborough saying that the Democrat brand has made itself joyless and unhappy. I agree. Watch.
I was dying laughing because you were describing the difference between the Democratic Party culturally and the Republican Party. As far as, well, by the way, just like the Republican Party is like, yeah, let's go to Madison Square Garden. Yeah, let's go to boxing. Let's do this. And it's so interesting because when, other than, of course, Barack Obama, when, we Republicans would look at Democrats and be like, God, they're just joyless. And it's like, it shouldn't be this easy. They are such downers. And I listened to y'all's podcast and I just started dying laughing. You guys nailed it. It's a cultural thing, isn't it?
Yeah. If we want to be a party that can win elections, we have to be a party people would want to attend.
Yeah, Democrats seem insufferable. They hate everything. They complain about everything. They think they're oppressed. They think everything's unjust. They glorify mental health. They glorify obesity. They reject the idea of a family. They certainly reject God. And you'd expect these people to be happy? Yeah, the Democrats are going to keep losing support if the requirement to be part of your movement is you have to be a giant stick in the mud.